Amber Heard, I can confirm the department is investigating that matter. So there was evidence presented in the London court case which suggested false statements were provided in the court case in Australia in 2016. So we are investigating that.
Former estate manager of Johnny Depp, Kevin Murphy, said in a witness statement that he was told that he told Heard, quote, by email, telephone and in person, that she could not take the dogs to Australia because the relevant paperwork and permits were not complete and the required 10-day quarantine arrangements had not been put in place. Murphy continued, Miss Heard later told the court in Australia that I had told her it was fine to bring the dogs into Australia. That is false, and I never told her this.
Yes, so Senator, we understand that to be the case, or the evidence provided in the London court case, and giving a false testimony is an offence under the Crimes Act, so that is what we are now investigating.
New huge step towards getting Amber locked up in Australia. Oh no, Amber is very close to getting locked up in Australia. This time, she might not escape the wrath of the Australian government. How do we know? Well, stick with us and find out. The news of Amber's legal toggle with the Australian government has buzzed the internet, and everyone's on their toes to see how it all ends. Regardless, there are some hints that we believe prove the certainty of Amber's conviction in an Australian prison. Before we move on, let's take a quick recap. Australia's Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment told Newsweek in May that investigations are ongoing over allegations that Heard lied under oath with regards to taking her pet dogs into the country back in May 2015. Apparently, the Aquaman actress took in 2 terriers, Pistol and Boo, into Australia without declaring them, and the trial concluded with Heard avoiding conviction. Afterward, she was charged with making a false statement on her immigration card. The Aquaman star checked no to the question of importing anything into the country that ought to have been declared. But the Australian government has had a rethink and it believes the entire case should be revisited. Yikes! Apparently, the case had returned to bite the actress. Moreover, Amber has proven to find perjury very easy to commit, and now the Australian government probably believes Amber needs to face the law and maybe prison term. Additionally, it was reported that the FBI is assisting Australian authorities in the investigation. Looks like it's not Amber's year, because it's one thing to be confronted by the Australian government and it's another thing to have the FBI stand firmly behind the government. Don't also forget that Australian former Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce has called for Heard to face jail time. It now looks like Miss Heard has allegedly not been telling the truth and it's perjury, Joyce said during an appearance on the Australian TV show Sunrise.
There's still a question about perjury for her and Johnny. There's still a big question about that. They've got some questions to answer. But
with all these, we believe Heard could face a long jail term. Let's see what fans think. One fan wrote, as an Australian, I hope my government does follow through because it might not seem like a huge deal to PPL like but she put our country at risk and lied about it. Another added, I agree, Australia is worth protecting and everyone must follow the same laws, regardless of who they are. While Amber Heard may still have to figure out how to pay Johnny Depp those millions of dollars, she might as well start looking for ways to avoid jail and more lawsuits. In all, Heard isn't out of hot water. That'll be all for now. Stay connected to know more.